Hi, I'm Whitney Devine, and here's a look at some of the stories making headlines today. Wildfires are burning across parts of Texas. Firefighters are making progress against them, but the fires still threaten dozens of homes. In New York, a 9/11 memorial will soon open for the 10th anniversary of the attacks. The designer says the memorial is the architectural equivalent of a moment of silence. And in Libya, rebels search for longtime leader Muammar Gaddafi. It was 42 years ago that Gaddafi took control of his country by overthrowing Libya's king. More events that happened on this day in history are coming right up. And all this week, our dynamic sports duo have been compiling their picks for this weekend. We'll have those predictions later in the show. This is CACC TV Student News P.M. First up, the aftermath of Irene. The storm may be gone, but the floodwaters are not. Vermont, New Jersey, upstate New York, these are some of the spots that got the worst flooding after Irene barreled its way through the U.S. East Coast. Some areas are still completely unreachable by road. Thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes. One mayor in New Jersey said all it takes is a phone call and for someone to say they need help. Then the boats head out and get them to safety. Jasmine?
Hey guys, I'm Jasmine and this is Today in News. On this day in history in 1897, 2 years after construction, the first U.S. subway line was built in Boston, Massachusetts. In 1939, German forces launched an invasion of Poland. The land and air attack marked the beginning of what would become World War II. And in 1985, a group of U.S. and French explorers discovered the wreck of the Titanic on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. The famous cruise liner was located 73 years after it sank. All right, this was Today in History, and now back to Whitney.
What city is hosting the next Summer Olympic Games? If you think you know it, then shout it out. Is it Beijing, Chicago, Rio de Janeiro, or London? If you shouted London, then you were correct. Athletes worldwide will head to London for the 2012 Summer Games. Next, we'll be hearing from Dingana Fokum with this edition of CACC Profiles.
Hello, my name is Dingana Fokum, and I'm here with the CACC Profiles. I'm here to interview a local CACC student, Bethany Malone, about her experience at CACC so far. So, Bethany, what class are you taking at CACC?
Photography.
And what made you want to take photography?
Just getting out of the school district.
So, what's your favorite part of the class so far?
Being behind the camera and taking the pictures.
So, if you have any advice for anybody that wants to take photography or CACC?
I would do it. I would go for it because you get to get out of your school district and do what you want.
All right, cool. All right, thanks for joining me. And that's all we have today on CACC Profiles. Now back to Jasmine.
Now it's time for our CACC Brief. Did you know that CACC runs WQNA 88.3 FM? WQNA is a 250-watt radio station run by students and community volunteers. The station runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Besides being available on the FM dial, WQNA is streamed all over the internet. This has been a CACC Brief.
Hello, it's your favorite dynamic duo, DZD and D-Tank, and we're here with the local sports show. We'll be going over the football games that will be happening this weekend and the week afterwards. So, Devin, what teams will be playing this weekend?
Rochester versus Jerseyville, SHG versus Southeast, and North Mac versus Bunker Hill.
So, what are your predictions on those games?
I think that Rochester will win versus Jerseyville. SHG will win versus Southeast, and North Mac will hopefully end their losing streak and beat Bunker Hill.
My take is, I don't know too much about North Mac, but I think that they will get a win tonight, and I believe that Rochester and SHG will both get wins tonight because they're both playing low-ranked teams, so it should be just an easy weekend for them before the Leonard Bowl 2, which brings up the Leonard Bowl 2. The Leonard Bowl 2 is a matchup, father and son matchup. Derek Leonard will be playing his dad, coach of SHG, at Rochester this year. This is the second matchup, and it is definitely a big game, so be sure to look out and go support that. Any predictions on the Leonard Bowl this year?
SHG, but we're all hoping for a good game.
Now, what do you think? Do you think it'll be a big crowd at the Rochester Stadium?
I think it'll be pretty big because they're two really high-ranked teams, Rochester being number 1, SHG being number 3, so It'll be a good matchup. You guys should all look out.
And it will be broadcast on TV, so be sure to watch that. But I think that's all we have today.
Yep.
So thanks for watching the DZD and D-Tank Sports Show. And now, back to Whitney.
Go Pack.
Thanks, guys. Well, that does it for today's show. On behalf of the entire CACC TV Student News crew, be sure to go out and root for your school this weekend, and we'll see you next time.